Welcome back to another episode of Unheard Voice. Today we have a London Blitz player joining me today, and it's gonna be pretty interesting. So if you would just like to tell us your name and your position that you play.
Joe Hamilton, and wide receiver, as Micah said, London Blitz.
Perfect. So how long have you actually been playing in?
I've been playing. I started 2015. Started playing in 2015 with at uni with Birmingham Lions. Yeah, man, been playing ever since, or every year besides the COVID years.
So you're Birmingham Lions alum,
Yeah, man,
scum.
the best.
And straight up scum, I'm not gonna lie. So
No way.
so 2015, you've been playing for what, about 7 years now? Well, 6 years you've played in total. And
Yeah, man. About that.
I'm guessing you did double seasons. So you did back to back seasons. Who'd you do them
I
back to?
tried.
You tried.
Yeah. I tried. My body didn't like it, but I tried to do back-to-back seasons. Yeah.
Who'd you do oh shit. Who'd you do them back to back seasons with?
So my first year, I played Lions, then Samwell, and I think I lasted about 2 games. And then my second year, I think I did Lions, maybe Samwell again. I can't even remember. In fact, I don't think I played summer ball in my first year. In my rookie year, I don't think I played summer ball. And then in my second year, I did Samwell. And then my third year, I did Tamworth. And then after my fourth year, I went to Blitz.
Okay. So when did you play for Tamworth?
That would have been I want to say 2017 season, maybe. Yeah, it must have been 2017.
Okay, so you've been involved with 4 teams, nothing, and
hmm
all sort of Prem level. Birmingham were Prem.
Samuel was, I think Samuel was Div 2, but at that time, not that it matters anyway, because football teams are football teams, but I had no real understanding of like the divisions, and I was still new to the sport. I just played because a couple of our coaches coached at Samuel.
Ah, that makes sense. That actually does make a lot of sense. Right. So, what made you play for those teams? Like,
Um, obviously, uni is uni. I know a lot of people go to Birmingham to play football. I didn't. I just went to Birmingham for academic reasons. When I first got there, I played normal football, but I didn't like the culture of like lad culture, drinking, all this.
yeah.
So my first year, I quit, and then I knew a couple of people who played for Birms. Ended up playing there. I just went to the sports fair, went to the open day, went to the trial, and then yeah, so that's how I got there. Samwell, like I said before, a couple of our coaches at Birmingham coached at Samwell. So they kind of obviously gave the whole happens at uni all the time, and it come down,
Come down, come play.
Yeah, and then Tamworth, kind of similar, but I knew Tamworth when I went to Tamworth. I knew that they were a good team, and at that point, I wanted to play like a slightly higher level of football for the men's anyway. So then I went there, and then Blitz. Blitz is close to home, innit? So I came home. I always knew that I'd end up going on playing for Blitz when I came back from uni.
Wait, you're actually you're a London kid.
Yeah, well, I lived in Hearts at the time, so started in London, lived in Hearts, and then yeah.
I always thought you were a Birmingham kid.
Nah, man. Nah.
I'm not.
So I grew up. I was born in Northwest. Started in Colindale, and
Oh,
then
right.
lived in Hearts. Grew up in Hearts. Went uni in Burns, then came back this way.
Right. So you didn't think about going Hertfordshire uni?
Nah, like I said, I went to uni, or end up in Birmingham just for academics. I did a sports course, and when I started uni, Birmingham was number one for sports. I didn't even know
Okay.
anything about football. I didn't know anything about American football when I started uni. So
To be fair, I can't deny that. I didn't know much about it for a while either.
yeah.
But so when you joined your Birmingham team, okay, you had no idea. Who was it that got you into the game? Who
I always like was aware of it, and I'd like watch the Super Bowl and things like growing up.
Yeah.
No idea what was going on. I had no idea. All I knew is there was the Super Bowl. It was on late, and I could watch it. I watched the games, and again, like halftime show was sick. The sport is obviously sick. Like nobody can tell me that the sport isn't fun to watch.
Yes.
So I'd watch it, and then I got to uni. I remember going to the sports fair, and I saw who are now like my close boys: Mike, Brandon, Will Stone, X. All them man were recruiting. So you walk in, you see them, man. They look serious, innit? They're big guys, athletic guys. So yeah, Brandon was on my course, so I remember speaking to him. And so he's the one who got me to go to that trial. And then, to be honest, I just fell in love with it literally from like the trial. As soon as I was playing, I fell in love with like the simplicity of the sport, but at the same time, obviously it's simple, but there's so much nuance to it. So again, I didn't even know at the time, but the trial, we did, obviously the way they do it, you get a taste for all the positions, and I just loved it all. So,
right.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so as a rookie, and how everyone else, a lot of people will be like, I play wide receiver, I can play quarterback, I want to play running back. What position was you dead set on playing when you started? Because I know it wasn't receiver. I
didn't have one. Genuinely, I had no idea. Like, I just went I went with no expectation. I just went for going sake, because I've always played sport, but I've always played like British football. So as soon as I gave that up, that was my whole life as a kid. So I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna go and see what it's like. I had no expectation. When I played football, I played in goal, so I got hands. So when I then get to the trial, obviously I like catching. I've always loved running. That felt the most natural. So once I was there, that one, it was like clear straight away to me anyway.
Okay.
That I was going to play receiver.
Fair enough. I can't really argue with that one. So so a lot of people quit after this dramatic situation happens at uni level, youth or senior, when they get hit for the first time. When you get hit for the first time, a lot of people quit. Who gave you your first hit, and how did you feel after it?
You know what it is with me, is that many games at the beginning, I was injured without contact.
Oh,
It took me a while to get my first hit. I'm trying to think of the first time where I really got hit hard. There was one game for Tamworth. And I can't remember which team. It might have been Liverpool, maybe. It was Liverpool. And I remember, so this was into my second or third year of football before I really got hit like that. Jesus. And I remember going up for a ball. I went up, and obviously as soon as you're up in the air and you're stretching for a ball, you are defenseless. And I came down and somebody just chinned me, like right under my helmet as I was coming down. And I remember hitting the floor being like, damn, okay, so that's what it feels like. But until that point, yeah. So I haven't really been hit like that.
Did you bounce back up, or did you stay down?
Yeah. Nah, man, no. Yeah, bounce back up, always.
All right. Obviously, playing for Tamworth. No. You went to Stanwell first. How was it playing for them? Was it different from the uni?
It was fun. It was different. Birmingham is to this day like the most organised practices and just most organised thing through and through that I'll ever have ever experienced. So Stanwell was, like I said, we have similar coaches. So it was, I think the coaching was similar, but a little bit more relaxed. But then it's different as well because the players love the game, but they're not like serious.
Yeah. So
it was more relaxed. It was more fun. And then obviously you get to game day, then it's everyone's serious regardless. Yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I think I only ended up playing like 2 games. So I pulled my hamstring. As we know, this happens quite often. But yeah, I think and the thing was obviously in the summer season, I was never planning to play for that long in any of my summer teams whilst I was at uni because I'd end up going home.
Yeah.
Mostly because I had to work and all that. But yeah, so as soon as I got injured, and the same thing happened at Tamworth, it was what was meant to be maybe like half the season, 3/4 of the season, cut short to just being nothing. And then by the time I was healed, then I went home.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm
it was
guess.
good though. It was good.
Damn. So what was it? So all right. So Samwell Steelers. So what was the difference between? Was it more serious when you got to Tamworth compared to Samwell? It was
Yeah,
a lot more serious. Everything was a lot
it was
more.
a lot. Yeah. It was a lot more organized. I would say Tamworth and Birmingham, in terms of the organization, in terms of how serious the coaches and the players took it, in terms of everyone knowing exactly what they're doing whenever, like whatever time, if whether it's watching film, whether it's in practice, whether it's in games, those two are top. And in the other teams that I played for, although they've been organised and that, those two were just different, especially Birmingham, different.
Okay. Right. So you know that a lot of people have played abroad. Have you
Mm-hmm.
ever considered going abroad? Like you've seen people like Xavier go abroad. We've seen a lot of people on the current team. You know, you see people from uni go abroad. Have you ever tried or looked to go abroad?
Yeah, well, not until recently, to be honest. When I started, obviously, you have Mike, who after my rookie year went to the States. Went. I think he was in Michigan. He went to. X was in Europe. There were quite a few other people I think who were in around Europe. So I've always seen people go, but until maybe the last couple of years, it never felt like something that was within reach. Doesn't sound is not what I'm trying to say, but I wasn't there. And when I first started, it wasn't even like in my thought process. When I see man like Mike and man like X play football, and like you're like, wow, they're different. And so that felt like that. But yeah, I mean, I was planning to go either this year or next year. Has been in my head to go and try Europe somewhere. Not necessarily had anywhere in mind. But until then, not really. And then obviously with COVID as well, that was before that was kind of it was starting to creep into my mind because in my opinion my game had come to a point where I was like, listen, I'm playing in Prem. I feel like at least I'm being around people as well who would go in and playing not on the same level as them, but like you can compete with them. And these men are looking at going to Europe, so why can't I? Kind of thing. Um, yeah. You get to a certain level in the UK. Um, yeah, we know. Yeah, man, we know what the limitations for the game are here. So if you want to take that next step, I think you have to start looking elsewhere, which is a whole nother conversation.
That is true. That is true. So, would you like try go to like Germany when you attempt, or would it be France, or would you even push yourself and try go for an EFL team?
um, I think that the longer, even from last season, if you'd asked me this time last year, maybe I might have said, oh yeah, because I'm an ambitious person. I like to think like I'm just going to stretch myself as far as possible.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I'm not stupid. I know like I'm not good enough right now to just walk into like a ELF, EFL, whatever it's called, team. Especially now, it seems to be growing in it. I'm just seeing people from everywhere
A
popping up in
lot.
these teams, and same difference. I'm seeing boys that are going over there. So like Chad, just with Istanbul, like he's levels, man.
Yes.
He's a big baller. So I'm not stupid. I know that I could play, but I also know that there's like a right of path and you got to work your way up to these things. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to play somewhere that's established as or known as being like decent. Like I think GFL some way has always been on the cards. I think I could do that. Um,
To be fair,
yeah, man.
there is a lot of people that do go GFL and then come back and they're like, yeah, the levels that people are at there are completely different. But I understand that. What would you? All right. So let's say the UK. Let's say BAFA.
Mm-hmm.
This is a. Let's say BAFA somehow allowed sponsorships. They allowed imports to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the UK program could give a candle or stand up to like GFL if that was
Yeah,
possible?
yeah. I really think so. Because even just from my small sample size of the boys that I know that play here, but they play here, and you get to a certain age where you got to start thinking about like your actual career, innit? So there are a lot of people who were over there or are over there, and they come back and they stay here now, and they're not any worse at football.
Yeah.
Now they got to stay here because they got to have their real career. There's no money in the sport over here, and
Damn.
you can't you can't go and do what they do in Europe and then come back 2 years later, and that's not even guaranteed. But then you got to start your real career, and so I know from that 100%. If we did something of that stature, we could at least create a team that could compete with those sides for sure. 100% certain of that.
Yeah, to be fair, I can't disagree with that statement because although there are a lot of people that I know that have left from UK and they've gone to Germany and they've built a life. Like there's a couple guys I know that's been there for like 10 years and they have stayed there. Like that's it. They found their life, they found their partner, they've found jobs, they've done everything. I do feel like the UK could potentially get to that point, but we've got a governing body that probably won't allow that anytime soon, regardless of how big it gets here with
No.
the NFL. There's you got 4 teams, you got 4 games that come over here, but yet we struggle to get 100 people to a home game. Even the finals.
Well, this is the thing.
Even the finals is kind of sketchy. Even though if either team have the big support, then yeah, you're gonna get a lot of people there. But it just feels like Britain compared to every other league abroad, we are like 15 years behind because we're not doing.
Oh, we really are. We really are.
We're not doing the things that need to be done. Like it's kind of frustrating to a point. But what would you say you would do if we had the opportunity? What would you do if we got that chance? Like, would you be out there promoting? Would you be out there trying to get sponsorships? Would you like work with people to try to get things moving a lot faster?
Yeah, man, 100%, 100%. I think anyone who plays the sport and likes the sport would say the same thing. Like I've had conversations about this recently. Like you said, we get 4 games, however many over here, and we fill out the stadiums.
Yeah.
So if there's enough in the interest to fill out 4 90,000 seater stadiums to watch an NFL game, there is enough interest in this country to make something of football. You can't fill out 90,000 seater stadiums for NFL, but only get 50 people at a game. There's something that's off there. So for me, and I think again, if we play the game here, we play it for the love of the game. We don't play it for anything else. We play it because we love the game. So anyone would do whatever it takes, really, again, within reason, to grow the sport. And I think we do that anyway. A lot of us do that.
Yeah, annoyingly, that's the truth. We do love it so much that we're willing to just put our bodies on the line, pay to play, and
yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
Oh boy.
The pain and the commitment. Yeah, man. It's a lot, but we don't do it. We don't do it, and I think a lot of people would say the same again. Where we hope that the people who play the sport in the future will see a better league. They'll see a better, and I think people are already seeing it. You got NFL Academy. You got, like we said, people left, right, and center go in Europe now. That really is the fruition of a lot of the players, like paving that path. The players who have done it when nobody else is doing it. The teams who have like put people through. Like it's building. It is growing. It's growing.
CFL.
At least the opportunity is growing.
Yeah, that's.
But we just don't want bro. We just don't want everyone to leave. We would like some people to stay a bit more. So the opportunities are growing. The sport might not be in this country.
Yeah, like you got a bunch of people that have been invited to the CFL Combine, people that are going for the NFL International Program. It's crazy when you actually think about it, how the game has developed, but the amateur league is still stagnant in one set.
Yeah.
It doesn't make...
It's weird, man.
It doesn't make much sense. It generally doesn't. Right. What is the one thing that you love and hate about football?
That's a good question, man. What do I love? I love the competition. The competition is the main thing that I cannot replace. Like that 1v1 guy opposite you on the field, on the practice field, that's straight up like you have to beat that person, whether it's beat them physically, or whether it's like you have to beat them mentally. Then Replaceable. That's the one thing since day one that I love. It's just me v you for however many minutes on that field, and one of us has got to lose, and it ain't gonna be me. I think I hate, boy. I was gonna say the pain, but I don't think I hate the pain. The pain is I hate. Is it losing? I hate losing, bro. But that's not just football.
I think
I feel like. But you know what it is when with this sport, when you put so much like physical pain and physical exertion into it, and you lose, it just feels that much worse because by the end you're beat up, you're sweating, you're physically like exhausted. When you got to hold that L, like I said, it's that like that competition, that 1v1. When you're at the end of that game, yeah, and you look into that guy across whose eyes, no matter how much you beat him up in the game, if you're on the losing side, you look, they look, and you know in it. You got to hold that one. And that is the worst feeling on the planet. That's the worst. I don't think you get that from many other sports.
No, you really don't. So, would you? All right. So, what's the? I should leave this to later, but I'm gonna do it now anyway. What is the worst loss you've had? What is the worst loss you've had playing this game to date over your whole 7 years? Your whole 7 years. What is the one that you can always remember and you just feel sick to your stomach at that loss?
That's an easy one, bro. That was 2019. Whenever the last real season was, we got hyped by the Warriors at home. I don't even remember the score. That 49 something. That feeling, yeah. I've never been beaten like that in a sport in my life. Never, ever, ever, ever. That was just pure humiliation from the first whistle to the last whistle. That was, yeah, just clear. That was clear the worst loss of my whole life. I hated it. That shit left me in a bad mood for like a week.
Yeah, I remember I got taken off. Me and another lineman got taken off at halftime and never got put back on. It was just like the game was done. There was a lot. If I remember correctly, there was a lot of. What? Actually, no. I'm not gonna say nothing. What was the main factor, the reason why we lost that game? What do you think? What do you think the reason was that we lost? Like, were we
lost, or the way we lost? The way we lost. First of all, we were a new like bunch of players that year, I think. And if you're gonna get into a game like that, the only thing that's gonna stop you from losing like that is the way you come together. And we didn't do that. None of it. We actually went the opposite way. If I remember on the day, we had everyone's heads were gone. People blaming other people, like units blaming other units. Maybe not as black and white as that, but you're meant to come together, innit? And that really wasn't happening. And even myself, I know I lost my head at one point with one particular unit, one particular moment, and it fried me. And I said something. I think I shouted at one of the coaches or something. I don't even remember. But when like that's not even like me. I don't do that kind of shit. I get angry, but I'm never gonna turn my back. But I'm never gonna get at one of my boys in a way that's not just competitive, like fix up kind of thing. But I remember just being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is he doing? I remember being like that. And that's how you lose like that. Yeah. That's how you lose like that.
This specific moment, what was it? What exactly was the moment? Do you remember it?
I do.
Do you wanna go over?
I
can't. I can't even. I don't want to bring the memory back up. I might get angry again. Alright. We'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to it
later.
Yeah. Obviously, playing this game is tough, and you need to have. There's always inspirations that we have to continue playing this game. Who inspires you, or what inspires you to carry on playing this game, even though like it puts a toll on our bodies?
Like I say, I can't replace that competition aspect in any other walk of life. It's not possible. That straight me v you for however long and the intensity of it, you can't replicate that. So there's that. But then also, seeing how far I can go with something is always, well, that's what drives me of anything really. How far can I take this? That's really the only reason that I'm still playing. I always said, for example, like if I don't make GB, like I pushed for it in 2019 before COVID, and I said if I don't make it, I'm just gonna stop playing because my body is just giving up on me.
Yeah.
Then obviously COVID happens, come back. Now I'm involved with GB. That's the only reason why I'm still kind of giving it everything that I've got. As soon as I get to the point where one, either I'm not enjoying it, or two, I feel like I've exhausted as far as I can take the sport, then I'll stop. But until that point, yeah, you gotta keep going, man.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair. So, let's say, obviously you're part of GB squad, so so that inspires you to keep pushing. Is winning a championship? Well, haven't actually. Have you won championships with Birmingham? Did you win championships with Birmingham and all that? So you've been.
Yeah, with Birmingham, yeah.
So you've been to that stage, so you know how it feels. Like not a lot of people have actually been able to say that they've been to a final, they've been to a championship, they've actually won the championship. Would you say that having that inspiration to maybe win the senior ball, like, do you think that drives you even more now as well?
It does. I don't know if it's enough that would stop me from stopping playing. Like if I got to the point where I'm like, I don't want to play no more. I don't know if that senior bowl would make me want to carry on that I haven't got it. Probably only because, like you said, I've tasted winning with Birmingham, even if it was, I don't know, it was a weird one. So this is my first year. Really, I was only really involved with specials. There's not quite a lot of specials though. So yeah, we won. But I don't know. So when you win like that, really, my memory is of all the ballers balling out like crazy, and then us rookies doing our job on specials.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different. But then the Senior Bowl, yeah, man. Especially whilst I'm playing, like I wanna win that, and I want to win it especially for Blitz because I feel like people don't feel like we can do that shit anymore, and I know that we can. So to win it with Blitz would just be like a massive fuck you to everyone else, and that drives me like that big time drives me.
I can't argue with that. I ain't gonna lie. I would love to just put up a big middle finger to every single other team and be like, "Yo, suck it. This is ours this year. It's done."
Yeah, man.
It's done.
People been thinking that we're done, and it's not the case. It's really not the case.
True. I can't really argue with that. Right. This one. Alright, this one might put you in a little bit of a sticky situation. But, hey, I ain't gonna lie. Right now, we might be teammates, but right now, I'm the interviewer, you're the interviewee, and whatever happens, it happens, isn't it? Do you sometimes, like, in games, like, against the Warriors game that we played, that we got blown out, do you sometimes regret playing for your current team?
Nah, I actually don't. I really don't, I think, first of all, I'm not somebody who... I think there's beauty in the struggle, innit? There's beauty in the struggle. So, yes, that game was nasty. And like I say, the memories of that game, of everyone just being pissed, like the way we held the loss, but it's a building block, innit? So, losing like that or not being like the perfect outfit, that wouldn't make me want to stop playing. Like, I love, for example, there's still a lot of the boys who were in that game and in that season where we fell short of what we wanted, who are still there, still grinding for the same thing, who have improved so much. So there wouldn't, there's never been a point. I don't think I've actually ever once since playing this sport been on the field or been in practice and say, why the fuck am I playing for this team? Like, I think similar people, not once, literally not once. Birmingham was like an experience that I will never forget. Like, my closest boys from there are still like my closest boys now. Samwell, I was only there for a couple of games and it was enjoyable. Tamworth was like my first taste of adult ball that felt serious, and I enjoyed it, and it was a good setup. I love the coaches, I love the players. That I learned probably the most I've learned from any team there, and I was constantly learning like about the sport, about scheme, and then Blitz. Like I said, Blitz feels like a grind is the wrong word because a grind isn't necessarily enjoyable, but it feels like we're fighting to get back to the top where it used to be, and I enjoy that. I big time enjoy that, even if it's not like, I don't know, just rolling everyone over like the Warriors do. I'd get bored. I'd get bored so quick.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I guess a lot of
That's,
people,
yeah.
a lot of people will be happy with that answer.
Yeah, man. I wish I had a more controversial one for that, but I actually don't. Yeah, genuinely don't.
And to be fair, I don't think I was looking for a controversial answer. I was just wondering if if your mind has ever gone to that place, like has it ever, like, it's like some people have that feeling. It's like, why the hell do I put my body through this for this team? Like,
Yeah.
why do I do
Nah,
this?
I think the furthest I've got with that thought is I wonder what it would be like to play for this team or that team. Like, I wonder how different it would be. But not like I want to, just I wonder what the differences are. Yeah. I've seen a lot of differences in some different teams, but yeah, man.
Okay. Oh, right. As an offensive player, right, what position in your squad what position in the offensive side is holding your team back from getting to the peak, getting to that spot, that title, that championship winning game?
That's a mad question. On the offensive side, so what we got: running backs, O-line, and wide receivers. And we're going to include tight ends and wide receivers, and QBs. I wouldn't say there's any one particular spot. I don't know, man. I think at the moment it's chopping it, and we're in a new season as well. We've still got so many people coming back from uni or to come back from uni and whatever. But we're talking about, I'm gonna go off last year. I think we were good at wide receiver, man. We were good at throwing the ball. We didn't score a running touchdown last year, I don't think.
Serious?
Yeah, I don't think we scored a running touchdown. So, I mean, we only played 4 or 5 games, but still to not get one, I think that's definitely a spot where there's a lot of improvement that can be had. I think a lot of the boys we still got the same running backs from last year, and they've come back like they've been putting in work.
Yeah.
So I think it was obvious. And then O-line as well. We were just so short on numbers last year. The boys that were there were solid, but injuries, people going away. Like you need numbers, innit? You need, especially on O-line, such like a niche position. And I think if we can fucking pound that rock in the way that we want to, then we have the players in the skill positions to then do damage. So it's not I think if we can step that running game up on offense, then it will make a big difference. Like any offense, I guess. If you can run the ball well, then you're in a good spot.
You're in a good spot. Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
And that's not to say what you got to remember with this as well. We're talking about winning championships, isn't it?
Yes.
Because our run game is good enough to win the vast majority of our games.
That is true.
So that next step, I think we just got to up the run game. It's not necessarily it's got to up the run game, just a little bit. We'll turn up a little bit.
Fair enough. I can respect that point and understand. If you didn't play for Blitz, yeah, what team would you be playing for right now? If like Blitz never existed, who would you be playing for?